activates your own dormant stem cells. And this is what it's done for us. I said, well, how much is that, Greg? He said, it's $100 a month. I said, well, that's better than $8,000. Let me give it a try. So I did. And he also said to me, he goes, Josh, there's a business associated with this if you have a heart to share this with other people as well. I didn't have a heart because I told him I didn't want to share this with other people. I wanted it just for my knee. And so I didn't, right? I got into this for the just to see if it did anything for me. Sure enough, 2 weeks into this, all of my knee pain was gone, every bit of it. And fast forward 13 months, I've not had any knee pain. I've been in and out of the chiropractor before. I've not one time in the chiropractor. So it has been a complete blessing in my life. I went back to Greg and said, hey, I'd like to share this because I've been kind of throwing this out to some people, and everybody's interested in activating their stem cells, and apparently everybody's getting old too. So he showed me how to do it, and the rest is history. We made the decision on July 1st of last year to do the business side of this, and July 1st of this year, a couple days last week, we went presidential director. So I want to thank Greg and Mena for sharing this with me, following up with me, not giving up on it. And we've just got such an incredible team. So excited about sharing this with you, and so you can see the technology and the business side. So first of all, have you been patched? If you've not yet been patched, we're going to get you patched, because the best story you can hear, right? The best testimony is your own. So you'll get that pretty soon here. All right, so a little bit about David Schmidt. He is our CEO, inventor of X39. One thing that's pretty unique about this, if you look at that, CEO and inventor, how many companies do you know out there, name them, that has the inventor of the company is also the CEO, right? That's not normal in business, right? But for 20 years, as you can see, 130 patents, scientist and inventor specializing in age reversing. In fact, the Navy SEALs came to David Schmidt 20 years ago and said, could you create a technology that could help our team in the field stay awake and alert in the field for up to 36 hours at a time? So he did. One of the first patches they created was one that sustains energy, and they still use it to this day. And that's one of the patches that the company has. So he did that, and he created about 6 or 7, 8 different other patches for inflammation, different things like that. And that created a company of $20 million in 17 years. So make a mental note of that, $20 million in 17 years. I'm about to knock your socks off with the slide here in a little bit. So, but here's the cool thing. 2008, he focused his attention on stem cell research, right? He knew that our bodies are created in a way that to heal themselves, right? Not for injections, not for pills, not for potions, but for our body, the stem cells in our bodies to do the work. And so it took 10 years and $4.5 million later, but he was able to come up with the X39 patch that we launched literally 4 years ago this month. And it is changing the landscape of this planet, and it is pretty cool. So here's how it works. So first of all, why stem cell activation, right? So the fewer stem cells you have, the faster you age and the slower you heal, right? I like to think of it when you're 8, 9 years old, you fall off a bike and you crash. What do? You get back on the bike and you keep riding, right? Because you're not supposed to go home till lights come on, right? You guys know what I'm talking about. But today you fall off a bike now, you're throwing your bike in the garbage. You're not going to work the next day, right? So we don't heal the same way because we don't have these stem cells going on. Hundreds of millions of people are experiencing symptoms of aging. We know that's true. Just ask your neighbors what's wrong with them, and they're going to tell you. So look at here. So here's what I knew. I knew that every organ in my body was created with stem cells, right? That it's made up of stem cells. When Greg introduced this to me, I knew that. What I didn't know is that by the time you hit 30 years old, half of your stem cells are hitting the snooze button, right? They're not active. They're not going. And then by the time you hit 60, your stem cells are slower than a sloth on Sunday. They're not doing anything. You're about 90, 95% dormant, and they're really not going to work and not doing what your body's needing for active healing. So how does it work? Proprietary form of phototherapy, patented nanocrystal technology. When Greg shared this with me, he was going over every time he hit a bullet point, I said, yeah, but will it help my knee? Yeah, but Josh, it's got nanocrystal technology. Yeah, but will it help my knee? I don't care. Will it help my knee? I was selfish. I just want my knee fixed. But as we dug into this and I seen, wow, this really does work. Phototherapy, Google it. When you're off this call, Google phototherapy. It's very, very fascinating what this does and how this technology works, where, we have light coming from our body. Just look at, night vision goggles, right? You've seen those, and the heat and the light and the infrared that we have coming off our body. interacts with the technology on this patch, goes back, tells our brain, elevate your copper peptides, HCU copper peptides, and in turn activate your dormant stem cells. Pretty awesome. So here's the part that I love: non-transdermal, no drugs, chemicals, or stimulants, and it's non-invasive. In other words, nothing is in this patch that is going into your body. So if the question is, well, I'm taking these prescription drugs, I'm taking these supplements, I'm doing XYZ, the answer is yes, you can take this because your body is the miracle, right? Your body is the one that's healing you, and this is the vessel. I love what Dr. Amy Wicks has talked so much about it. She said, I mean, you can hear her story one day, but she's like, God fixed me through this technology here, and it's so true what it's doing. So how to wear the patch? Very, very simple. There's so many things out there. You look at any workout plans, right? You look at a workout plan and it says, do this and you can look like this. Oh, by the way, make sure your nutrition is here. They'll throw that on the side, which is a bunch of crap because that's the biggest part of it. The neat part about this patch is there's nothing that you need to do except for put a patch on and drink some water. Right. So it says here, wear it 12 hours on, 12 hours off every day. I love to set the alarm on my phone, 8 o'clock in the morning, boom, put it on, 8 o'clock at night, take it off, boom, throw it out, it's gone. That's it, right? Drink a lot of water. The one thing I do wish there was another bullet point here because this guy is clearly naked. So I would suggest putting clothes on after you put your patches on. You may get arrested. So patented technology. So, we need, in order to get a patent, as everybody knows, you need to prove through case studies that the technology does what it says it does, right? So you can see right inside the patent here, including the activation of stem cells, improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, so on and so forth. So on the This Is It info site, you can read the entire patent if you choose to. The other thing that I love about these patents from a business standpoint, right, is we know that a patent is good for 20 years. Right. So with this, we launched this, if you remember, 4 years ago. So think about that. We have, 20 minus 4 is 16. We have 16 years on a patent on a product that nobody else has in the market at all. Right. Ask anybody else, what are you doing to activate your dormant stem cells? They're like, nothing. Right. So there is nothing else. We have 16 years. So if you're somebody who's new to this, thinking, well, man, I wish I would have gotten this company here at the beginning. We are at the beginning. We're 4 years into the X39, and the momentum is on fire right now, and we've got years to go with this thing. So you're in a perfect spot for this. So benefits of X39. So increased strength. Again, I can tell you personally, I've seen all of this since April 1st for sure. But increased strength, reduced inflammation. Most people know that inflammation is the #1 cause of most bad things in our body, right? Increased stamina. Energy and vitality. Wherever we're in a room with people, I ask, hey, who's experienced more energy and vitality wearing the X39? Everybody's raising their hand. I mean, for me, I've got more energy than a squirrel on whatever, on a caffeinated squirrel, I guess. Mental clarity, restored muscle and skeletal condition is massive, right? Improvement of sleep, right? You ever wake up looking like you're an extra on one of the zombie movies? I have. Right. But improvement of sleep, and that's improvement of sleep also gives you that energy the next day as well. There's so many different things. Improvement of skin appearance. That's one of the big things that really both my wife and I have seen, but I'm almost 50. She's 54 this week. So if you know her, tell her happy birthday. But but the kids, they don't live with us anymore, but they're coming over. They're like, Mom, your face looks good. And she's like, well, did it not look good before? So that, they're boys, they don't know any better. But anyway, improvement of skin appearance, noticeable, right? Noticeable improvements of those. Long-term results. Here's what I love about this slide, guys, is everything on this previous slide, a lot of it is here's how I feel, right? These are feel statements. People say, I'm feeling this better. I feel the more strength. Obviously, some of it's measurable as well. Everything on here is measurable, right? So these are through the case studies. So look at this. First few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset, right? Again, I shared with somebody earlier today. If you drink a glass of red wine, that you can reset 4 genes. So you have a choice, right? That's a lot of wine. Or wear a patch. I would suggest the patch. Within 6 weeks, your brain becomes balanced. I'm going to show you a slide that really talks about this. Pretty incredible. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased, right? So we have a doctor on our team that shared that out of every company and every product out there in the entire world, whether it's that does collagen increase, whether it's a topical, whether it's a pill, you name it, X39 increases the human body's collagen significantly more than anything else on the entire market, which is fantastic. And for me, I was somebody who thought collagen was hair, skin, nails, right? Improvement of that, you look a little better. Didn't realize that collagen is throughout the body, right? And as we age, our collagen deteriorates and we lose the elasticity and all that. So such a huge improvement there. But regardless of those three things, this is the one by far that got me and so many other people, is within 6 months, your heart reverses in age. So imagine going to the doctor. Let's say, I'll use me for example. I go to the doctor, he says, Josh, you're 50 years old. We just did your blood test. We did, we checked your heart rate, your pulse. And based on all these statistics with your cholesterol levels, you're 50 years old, but your cardiovascular health, you're 62 years old. So we need you to do different things here with exercise. We need to take this medication to reduce stress, stop smoking, stop drinking, whatever it is, to reduce that. What they noticed with this, and this is many, many case studies, 14 out of 15 people seen a reduction in their cardiovascular age of 8 years wearing the patch for 6 months. That is massive, right? Think everybody knows somebody in their family who has some type of cardiovascular challenges, right? And that goes down through generations, unfortunately. This 8 years and 6 months. So imagine what that looks like in a year and a half, 2 years wearing this thing. So people ask me, are you going to continue to wear this after your knee stops hurting? I'm wearing this till Jesus comes home. And then when I get up there, I'm going to ask if I can take the patches with me. Just kidding. No, I'm not going to do that. But and this is why David Schmidt, the CEO, the inventor, says it's not anti-aging, right? It's age reversing. If you think about how this technology does, if it's activating dormant stem cells to go to work on your body, it's not anti-aging, right? It is age reversing. Pretty incredible. So here's a quick picture of a topography graph of a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. This is her not on X39. This is her brain on drugs. No, it's not. This is you guys remember the egg commercial. So anyway, so this everything red in this picture is inflammation. So if you know anything about inflammation in the brain, there's some nasty things that can be caused from inflammation in the brain, including things like stress, anxiety, depression, PTSD, big things that a lot of people are dealing with, but also Parkinson's, dementia. There's so many things that brain can do, but most of it is because of inflammation in the brain. But look at this. Session 2 is 3 weeks later on a 77-year-old woman just wearing the X39 patch. Look at the decrease of inflammation in her brain in just 3 weeks. And on the 6-week mark on session 3, this is what's considered a balanced brain. So again, this is just an example of a brain, but you can take the same example on a heart, on eyes, kidneys, lungs, you name it, right? Inflammation is nasty, and this does a remarkable job with that. Here's a couple of pictures love to share. This is a gentleman that wanted to share his journey. You can see the dates here, November 16th of 2022. A lot of issues with eye bags and different things on his face. As he progressed, you can see a little bit different there. And then look at this, February of this year, completely different. And I was doing a presentation a couple of weeks ago with Dr. Amy Wicks, and she made a great comment. She said, when you see somebody going downhill, right, whether it's just aging or whatever, the first area you see this in is in the eyes. Right. And then when somebody's coming out and they're getting much better, the first place you see this is in the eyes. I thought that was pretty incredible. So look at the difference in his eye, just the eye bags alone. Pretty neat. So here's another lady that kind of wanted to do the same thing. So she said, here's day 1, day 42, about a month into it, a year into this. Look at this younger version of herself a year into this. And then this is what she looks like today, just using the X39 patch. Again, we talk about that collagen increase. It is pretty massive. Look at the bags. Just way, way different. So pretty exciting. Here is a gentleman that was playing Santa Claus one year and he got stuck in a chimney. No, that's not real. That's not the real story. He was working in some rafters, falls through a ceiling, breaks ribs and punctures his lung. Right. So pretty bad situation for most of us on this Zoom. We're not going to work for a good month and a half. This guy, look at the dates though. He's on X39, June 17th to June 30th. He is virtually all cleaned up. All the bruising is almost gone. The inflammation's down. He's back to work in 2 or 3 weeks. fantastic what this thing does. Again, think about that example that I gave you, right, with the bike when you're a kid. It's so true, right? It's so true. And then last one here is Dr. Adam Shiner. That we got to see some information from him in Tampa last year. Really neat what he explained, how really the science behind X39 and what it does for the human body. But more interesting to me, at least, was how he explained the different procedures that he does in his office, right? So he's a world-renowned plastic surgeon down in Tampa, but he showed here's what we do with laser resurfacing in people's face, or rhinoplasty, or you name it. And he said, here's examples of different people at different stages on 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 days on the patch. And here's people that are doing the same exact procedure, same timeline, not on the patch. And he showed picture after picture after picture, and it was literally night and day difference. He said, for people that don't use this, makes no sense to me. He said, I encourage every one of my patients, get on it at least 30 days beforehand. It's in your system, it's going, you're kicking it. And then at least 3 months afterwards. And then, and that way that his procedures will look great. But then he said, then I encourage people, use it forever. There's no reason not to use this product. It is absolutely amazing. I've shared this with so many people. We now have 24 doctors on our team. This is one of the main reasons, right? And some of them are sharing them with their patients for that reasons. We could go page by page on different testimonials. Here's just a few that are from our team specific that I've personally got a chance to share this with people. Pain relief, Parkinson's, better sleep, blood pressure, focus, energy, anxiety, PTSD. We have people that are off of their anti-anxiety medication, depression medicine, because of this. Now, of course, we make no claims, never will, that this will treat, cure, or do anything with any type of disease. But when people are saying this is what it's doing for me, those are awesome testimonies, right? Neuropathy. I knew what neuropathy was, but I had no idea how widespread it was and how many people are dealing with it until I got involved with this and started sharing. And people said it helps with neuropathy. And now I'm getting text and phone calls all the time. My knees, my leg is not buzzing anymore. I'm sleeping at night. I'm not having all this stuff in my hands going on. Diabetes. We have so many people with great stories on that. Better skin. You name it. So before we go to this next slide, I want you to think back and remember that one of that first slides that I was showing you, right? The company 20 years ago, right? We with 7 or 8 different patches, starting with the pain patch, grew to a $20 million company in 17 years, right? So you'd think that we add one additional patch onto this assortment of patches, and then in the next 3 years, we could grow to 22 million, 23 million. The math would make sense, right? That's not what happened. They threw the X39 patch out into the world, and people said, I can activate my own dormant stem cells. Absolutely. I will 100% try that. And so people started doing that. And then guess what? It worked, right? So they said, I love this thing. They continued to use it. And even people like myself, right, Greg, that said, I don't want to do anything to share this thing, naturally cared for people and wanted to start sharing it. That's why this company in 3 years went from 20 million to $430 million in 3 years. This is the 4th year we're on this. We're going to be a 600 million or more company this year and $1 billion company next year. So if you're somebody on here that's skeptical, I was. You can hear a million testimonies. Look at that number. Those numbers don't lie. In fact, I'm going to cover this here in a second, but if you've ever done something with another company that deals with weight loss, skincare, supplements, energy drinks, you name it, you have to sell those products, right? This is why my energy drink is so much better than the energy drink that you're drinking right now, and why it's got all natural ingredients and this and this. We don't do that. We don't sell a stem cell activation patch. We tell you what it's done for us. Here's a website that you can see on how it works. And by the way, if you want to try it, here it is. And it's that simple, right? This growth, if you know anything about this industry, the major companies in this industry, 250 plus companies, look at businessforhome.org to see how do we stack up against the other companies in this industry. 6 months now, almost 7 months, LifeWave is the #1 ranked momentum company in the world because of this X39 product here. So this is, if all of us, everybody on this Zoom call, shut this thing off and stop doing anything with this thing is blowing up with or without us. So we are on the right train with this. In addition to that, so we're the fastest growing company in that industry in the world, right? Steve and Gina Merritt have been successful in the industry before, but they made a decision 2 years ago to join LifeWave because they seen, you know what, this is the right product. This is it. This is the right organization. This is the right leadership. This is the right compensation plan that Greg's going to walk you through here in a minute. And then they named their team, This Is It, right? And that's what we follow every single day and follow their growth. Here is just a quick picture of in St. Louis. This was maybe 3-4 months ago. Greg and Mena were there, a couple other people, and you can see we had 100 people show up to this meeting. By the way, there were tornadoes going outside, right? There are tornado sirens and people still showed up. That's like, you guys are incredible. And then 2 months later, we doubled that with 200 people that showed up. People are so interested in seeing this. So I'm going to hand it over to Greg and Mena, and then they're going to walk you through more of the business side of this. And so Greg, take it over.
Fantastic. Great job, Josh. I love that where you talk about, good health this way and showing all the benefits. And I know that could have been pages and pages and pages, long. And it's pretty crazy how, all the different things that we're doing. Hold on a second. Let me make sure that I'm going to be sharing my right information here. There we go. And because the biggest part to this, like Josh was talking about, is that really what it comes down to is that people right now are looking for just solutions, and whether it's for something that's helping them physically, something that's helping them mentally, that's something that's helping with their career, something that's helping them financially, all these different things. And what we're doing to do is shift kind of right now, talk more about from an opportunity standpoint, because I know my wife and I have had multiple streams of income. We've always looked at different ways to create additional income. They always talk about you should have at least 5-6 different ways that you're creating income. And so we've always looked at different things, but a lot of times we're just like, no, especially with different things that the door opens and they're like, oh, this company just started, it's brand new. And I'm like, it's new. It takes 5 years to start a system and have no interest whatsoever. Some people are the shiny, object syndrome or whatever. But because one of the goals we wanted was total financial independence, total freedom. So when I took a look at this, I was working a job that was driving me bonkers. The only thing I can say is the whole company culture shifted to a micromanaging culture where literally they had you doing, we always talked about IPAs, income producing activities. They had a lot of NIPAs, non-income producing activities. This literally was wasting my time. I'm going, why are you doing this? I'm a high performer. Everything's got, I always say never penalize a performer. So the number one thing for me was freedom. I wanted freedom. I said, I want to get out of my cotton picking job as quickly as I could. For a lot of people, the idea is just having security, having some extra income coming in. Right now, people need to make extra money. They said, Forbes talked about this, say the average household needs an additional $11,000 a year, basically $1,000 a month, just to basically be at the same level of lifestyle from 2 years ago. So inflation has gone through the roof. I mean, I was just at the store the other day and I'm looking at all the prices and stuff. I'm going, this is ridiculous. We just went out to a dinner today that used to be a $9, $10, $11, $12 menu. Now it's a $16, $17, $18, $19 menu. This is in less than like a year. I mean, it's pretty crazy. So when you look at what the different things are going on, people today are looking for security, looking for travel, looking for better health. Well, it's a big thing. Debt-free is a big thing for us. We're talking about less debt. How about you put a big X mark here for less debt? So what's important to your life, there's probably a reason why you're on here. There's probably something to think about, you know what, maybe I'm just looking just for something that could potentially help me with my health. And so other people are saying, well, maybe I could find something that could help me with my wealth or something that could help me with just some different areas. Well, we were very fortunate. We actually were able to take a look at this. And when I took a look at this, I had no interest from a business standpoint, just like Josh did. My friend said, you got to try this. He said, it's going to help you. He had no idea that I had pain in my neck, my shoulder, my back, my knee, and my hip because of a car accident and other different things that happened. I was healthy. I was just had accidents. 3 days later, no knee pain, no hip pain, no shoulder pain, no neck pain, no back pain, gone. I'm like, what in the world is this thing? How does this thing work? And I started researching it. And when it hit me, I was like, oh my goodness, this is real. It was like after hours of research, I had a lightning bolt moment where I was like, this is real. This is real technology. This is amazing. And then I started thinking about going, wait a minute. How does opportunity work? How does this all work? And that's what we're going to kind of explain, because the number one thing for me was what? Freedom. So I wanted to be out of a job. Everybody's different. Some people love their jobs. Great. Keep doing what you're doing. For me, I was like, I'm done. Put a fork in me. I'm done. And I'll tell more of that story later on today. But one of the biggest things, so Joshua kind of went through this, but the big part to this that I want you to understand, let me reduce this over here. Boom. Come on. Zoom just changed the way they do stuff and it's messing me up. Anyway, so you're so used to doing different things. Anyway, so the way we make money is pretty simple. There's 4 ways that we make money. The very first way is when we enroll someone, we can actually make some money, which is kind of cool. The second way we make money is basically on a residual basis by building teams of people. So literally it's as simple as actually knowing 4 people to go what's called manager. Now, when I look at people think manager jobs, more responsibilities, more stuff you got to do, everything else. No. A manager, and this is just a title, basically, they give you, basically opens up income for from an income standpoint. So if you said, oh, I got to manage people, and say, no, if you like the idea of a job, become a manager job. This is independent business ownership. This is where we want to basically teach people how to be brand partners and empower people to actually do stuff. So what happens though is you as simple as finding two people on the right and finding two people left. You develop a right team and a left team. This is known as in the industry as a binary. I'd never built a binary before, so I took a look at this. I'm like, okay, how does this all work? And I started really researching, trying to figure it out. And I've been once same type of thing, like a light bulb. I'm going, oh my goodness, this is like the best compensation plan I've ever seen. So what happens here is that once you develop this here, you get registered as a brand partner and bring two people on the right, two people on the left. Now what happens as a manager, you can make up to $1,500 a week. Now, I pause there for a second because I want you to understand that's significant income to a lot of people. An extra $6,000 a month. I don't know about you, but if you don't think it's significant, then just hand it over to me and I'll do something with that money because it's not significant to you. So what happens though is that the door starts opening further and further. Now, it doesn't happen right away because what happens, you can make up to $1,500 a week. And then as you're building and building and building, the crazy part I've never seen before is that in an industry where you got people that are above you, that basically they're above you and they're putting people underneath you. And these people are putting people underneath you. And this person saying, I want to be a manager. So he's putting people underneath you. And this person says, I want to be big in this business. And they start putting people in. And this person does the same thing. Well, when you start building someone on the right and you help them become a manager and the left person become a manager, now you're known as a director. You make up to $2,500 a week. And it goes all the way up to $25,000 a week. Not bad. 1.3 million a year. Now this is capped. It's the second way to make money, but it's capped. A cap of 1.3 million is not too bad. I've never heard anybody say that's a bad cap. But there's other ways to make money that are limited. So what happens is, but like I said, as a manager, you can make up to $1,500 a week by having two people, one left, one on the right. Once you have two managers, you become a director up to $2,500 a week. Once you have two directors, you become a senior director. So we start seeing people helping people get through all these different ranks. And if you tie into the team meeting that we're doing right after this meeting, you'll see people that are hitting these ranks like popcorn. It's amazing what's going on. So when we hit the executive director level, I literally went, oh my goodness, this is like serious income. Things are really cranking. And then 6 weeks later, we doubled our business. So again, if you understand how quickly this happens, so we're basically at the presidential level. So is Josh. We have a bunch of people that are senior director level, about to be executive directors in the next few weeks, which is kind of cool. And then once again, we want to help everybody become a senior presidential director. Why? Because again, what happens is as they start making more money, we make a percentage of that. And that's the way we really make money is this matching bonus. If 1.3 million was just too much for you, then just don't pay attention to this. But if you like the idea of literally freedom and financial independence, this is the one that got me like jacked up. I get excited. I get very excited about the opportunity of unlimited income. And when we talk about unlimited income, what happens is that my goal is to help Josh make $25,000 a week. Why? Because he's frontline to me. I get 25% of that. Now, if you don't know what that means, it means over $6,000 a week for just him. Now, what happens is that Josh has also brought people in. So I want the people that are on his team personally, I want to help them become senior presidential directors making $25,000 a week. Why? Because I now get their second line to me, which is 20% of that. So I get $5,000 a week for each of those people per week. Now, my goal is help them do the same thing. So once again, help those people become senior presidential director. And what happens, help them make $25,000 because I can make 20% of this. A real life example is the guy who brought me in, Ken. He basically said, Greg, you got to try this product. We signed up at the biggest pack that they had. Literally after I had my experience, what happened was that literally he basically, now I'll do conservative numbers. He's making over $10,000 a week. So we'll use example. Imagine if you sponsored someone like Ken. You sponsor someone like Ken, and Ken's making over $10,000 a week. Now, when he made $100, you made $25. When he made $1,000 a week, you made $250. When he made $10,000, you're making $2,500 a week from just that one person. Now, what happens, he's actually sponsored over 200 people. We're one of them. Now, imagine you getting 20% of 200 people plus our commission, right? Getting 20% of what we're doing. Now, we've sponsored 185 people. I don't even know how many it is now. Once again, imagine getting 20% like Josh. Once again, we sponsored him. Imagine him getting 20% of his along with all these other people, right? So this is how people are making over $100,000 a week. Now, again, some of you may not think that big. But I do tell people all the time, if you could even make an extra $1,000 a month on the side of what you're currently doing through an opportunity like this that's growing every single week, would that be significant income to you? What if we can help you make $1,000 a week? Would that be significant? I was talking to someone just yesterday and they said, oh my goodness, everything would change if I made an extra $1,000 a week. I said, yeah, for a lot of people it does. I said, what if we help you make $1,000 a day? There's people that are doing this business that are making like $1,000 an hour. If you understand the kind of money that can be made, it's pretty crazy. But it starts with you just finding 4 people, helping you find 2 on the right, 2 people left, and then them doing the same thing. This becomes a building block and teaching everybody how to do the exact same thing. The greatest part about this opportunity is it's a business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself. There's a whole system that we use to teach people how to do this. So people say, well, okay, well, how does this work? How do we even get started? So to get started, we have an application, we have a form. Basically, we recommend getting registered as a brand partner. Now, again, you can actually say, if someone says, hey, I just want to register as a customer, well, great. Then we'll charge you a retail price of $150. We don't do that. We say we're going to give you the wholesale price. In order to get the wholesale price, we recommend actually a couple different packs. The very first pack is what's known as a silver pack. This is for someone who says, I just want to try the product. It's almost like buying 2, getting 1 free. So instead of spending $150 each, you spend basically $300 and you get instead of 2, you get 3, right? So what's kind of cool about this, if you got a husband and wife team, like my wife and myself, she gets a sleeve, I get a sleeve. It just makes sense. It's nice and easy. So what happened from that, then we get set up on auto ship. So what happens for these people say, I just want to try the product. For people that say, hey, you know what? I really like that idea of the significant income you're talking about, even if it's $1,000 a month, then I would recommend you start as a gold or a diamond. Now, again, as a gold, you basically get 5 sleeves. Now, why would you want to get 5 sleeves for if it's just you and your husband, or if it's just a single person? Well, what we did, we recommend getting the product, utilizing yourself, and then when someone close to you, if they're geographically located near you, if they get registered, you basically can give them a sleeve. Like today, I had a perfect example of a guy that actually got started today. We got done with church, drove over to his house. Lily signed him up. He's going out of town tomorrow. So he signed up as a silver. I had enough product. I gave him 3 sleeves. And then Lily had the product. Now product's being shipped to my house. So the next 3, 4, 5 days, that product's gonna be delivered to my house to replace what I gave him. I couldn't do that if I had just 3 sleeves, 1 for me and my wife, right? We got the diamond pack. We got the biggest pack that we could get because I'm like, I wish they had a bigger pack. I said, I want to get this in front of as many people as possible. So this is what we did. We spent $1,600 and we got 19 sleeves. $84 a sleeve is the least expensive price that you could get, which is very, very cool. But what I did is I said, you know what? I'm going to start talking to people. So my wife started talking to people. I started talking to people and I started exchanging back and forth and back and forth. So they say, hey, tell you what, if you want to register today, we'll get you signed up. They start filling out the form. I said, tell you what I'll do. I'll give you a sleeve today. And then when yours comes in, just give me one of your new ones back just to replace the one I gave you. Does that make sense? They're like, yeah, that makes sense. So we go back and forth, back and forth. 2.5 weeks later, we replaced our income. Basically, the income that we spent on that, we made that money back. With the first month, we made like $2,800. There's a lot of people in the business that kind of are getting into the system now. They're making money like that. I mean, like the first week, second week. So it depends on you. But I said, we're talking to as many people as we possibly can. The part that I want you to understand is that this whole business is built upon you being self-consuming and helping other people. If you truly care about people, then you want to share this with people. To me, I'm like, as soon as I said, oh my goodness, we're going to help so many people. And since then, we've been help for every kind of ailment. And you name an ailment, we've been able to help out with that. I mean, we could put together a laundry list of everything, things that just crazy things where people did not want to live anymore. They're not living a thriving life. I was in so much pain. I'd get up in the morning just like, oh my gosh, I mean, just moaning and groaning. My wife, actually, the very first thing that happened to her is her ear stopped hurting from me complaining so much. I mean, seriously, that's what happens. So what happens is we get people set up on auto ship because you want to continue using this product. What happens, they said that 80% of the people, plus or minus 80% of people, notice a significant difference within 30 days. 97% of the people notice something significant within 90 days. So the guy told today, I said, you want to do a minimum of a 90-day run. I told him, for you, it might take 6 months. Why? Because he's 60 years old. I said, if you're 60 years old, the rule of thumb is for every decade that you're alive, you should be using this for at least 1 month. So me being 53, literally I should be using this 5 to 6 months. So that's what we do. So all we did is if you want to succeed, you want to be the gold level or higher. And again, you can start here and actually upgrade if you want to. You can start wherever you want to and upgrade if you want to. There's no time limit on it. You can upgrade whenever you want to. But I tell people, if you can do this here, $1,600, you can't start a lawn care business. You can't start any type of business. I mean, even a detailing business, you can't start for $1,600. So if you understand any kind of business that you want to do, it takes money. This is you just buy product, use it, and share with others. We're still sharing back and forth. We get the sleeves back, we give them to somebody else. We get the sleeves back, we're still doing the 19 sleeves that we got, right? After 21 months. So then all it is then 2 sleeve auto ship. If you want to maximize the commission, you want to be at the gold level, 2 sleeve auto ship, and that's how you maximize it. That's it. And so there's compensation videos that explain more about this. But the thing, I guarantee what's happening right now, you're thinking of other people. You go, my goodness, my friend Joe and my friend Sally, and oh my gosh, Nancy, and this person, that person. Oh my gosh, that person has some knee pain. That person's got some back pain. That person, oh my goodness, they get diagnosed with some other itis or something weird or whatever it is. I wonder if this will help them. And pretty much the answer is yes. We just don't know if it's going to take days, weeks, or months. The difference on this, though, is if you understand the longevity of utilizing this, it's not only going to help them, but then also they can refer other people and they can get their product for free. So I would say, would you rather pay retail or get a wholesale? People say, let's get a wholesale. Great. Would you like the idea of getting your product for free eventually? Well, yeah. How does that work? All you got to do is refer people, and actually that's how the money flows. So it's pretty cool. So again, what we recommend, go to thisisit.info.com. That goes over all the details of the website. This Is It Info is the site that goes over all the specifics. The first 3 videos, like Josh was talking about, the one video from Dr. Leland Stillman's the 3rd video down. The first 2 videos are like three different ones. But then we have a team website, This Is It Team. So This Is It Info goes over the information on the X39, and This Is It Team goes over the stuff. And there's a compensation videos, and there's 3 different ones for people that are very successful. All of them are making millions of dollars in this company. So if you understand that, you want to learn from people that are doing that. And we're not talking they did it 20 years ago. In the last 2 years. In fact, the people who worked the very first video, Steve and Gina Merritt, they make a lot of money. I put that with millions and millions and millions of dollars they've made in the past couple of years. So if you understand, can we guarantee that for you? No. We can only guarantee that you'll be compensated based upon how hard you're willing to work. So we have a system and a strategy. Basically, we tell people we just want to patch people. We want to expose X39 every single day and revisit with people. So ours is a 3-3-1. So basically, we expose this basically to 3 people a day minimum. Follow up with 3 people a minimum, and basically talk about the opportunity to at least one person getting the amount of Zoom like this. So again, 3-3-1. Now again, you can do a lot more than that. So we have different Zoom meetings. We have different other things that we have. We always recommend if you can tie into the different meetings, like even tomorrow, 8 p.m. and then 8 p.m. They're going to have, 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. They're going to have a couple that basically has been successful in this business sharing this opportunity. You can literally get people to come to your house, click on YouTube or a Zoom meeting, and sit there and just watch and nod your head and agree with the people that are on there. And literally they'll do the whole presentation for you. Or you can just get people on a Zoom meeting or go on a YouTube channel and basically watch it live and have people all over the country and all over the world tying into that. They have people that they're doing ones in Great Britain on Tuesdays, in Sydney, Australia, actually on Wednesdays, or actually Tuesday, I think, on Wednesday. And then Wednesday, they got another one at 8 p.m. That they do. And then they do Friday at lunchtime. So again, a Friday at 12 o'clock is a quick 30-minute one. So sometimes we get people on that just during their lunch break on a Friday. But then they have different Spanish ones. So no habla español, muy poquito. So if you know Spanish, and you know people speak Spanish, this is a great meeting to get on for Thursdays. But the team teaching every Saturday is what they do from This Is It Team. And we do a team teaching every Sunday right after this meeting. Literally in 20 minutes, we're going to do a team teaching talking more about what to do, how to do it, and what things do. And we're going to be recognizing new ranks of people that are doing this, because people are going, well, I wonder if anybody's building this, so they're already having success. Tying at 9 o'clock, you'll see a little bit of success that's happened this week, just this week, not the month, not the year, just this past week. It's pretty amazing what happens. So again, Steve and Gina actually have a couple different things they're doing around the country. There's 2 different meetings coming up. St. Augustine is actually Tuesday and Orlando's Wednesday. If you know anybody in Florida, Orlando's about a central location you can get. We're going to be there. So my wife and I are going to be there. So tie people into that meeting. Make sure we know they're going to be there, and we'll introduce them personally to the #1 team and the #1 money earners on our team. Literally, it's not about them. They've impacted more lives than anybody else. That's why they're the #1 money earner. So if you want to make money, impact people's lives and change people's lives. So again, get other things that are coming up, like the Believe Convention. That is less than 2 weeks away. I'm going to tell you right now, if you said, okay, what's my next step? I said, let's get you registered. The second thing you got to do is register for the Believe Conference. I've had people go, well, I've got something going on that, the 19th and 20th. Is there any way you can shift it? This happens once a year. For me, literally, this changed our lives. We were making a few $1,000s a month. Now we've 10x that in less than a year. So if you understand what can happen, it's amazing what's going on right now from a business standpoint. If you like the idea of multiplication, especially 10x, I would highly recommend going to this meeting. Just ask Josh. We can talk more about that later. So again, there's virtual tickets available for those who are out of the country. If you're in the United States, get on a plane, get on a bus, get on a train, get on a pack mule, whatever. Just get there, because this will change your life. It's gonna be the top leaders in the entire industry. People are flying in from all over the world to Orlando. So if you say, hey, I'm like, a 5-hour, flight, great, fly in. If you I'm a 10-hour drive, pack your car full of people and drive in. So again, I could go on and on and on. I won't. So again, the best thing I could recommend is that you take a look at this from a serious standpoint. I could go on and on and on how this has changed our lives. A lot of people on here today their lives are changing because they've seen something. I mean, it's amazing. I don't even wear a patch one. I'm like throwing patches around. Anyway, so the biggest part to this is that when you understand a technology of a product that literally can change your life, this little thing, when you put it on, I tell people a picture's worth 1,000 words. I could show you this picture back here, right? That's pictures with 1,000 words for a lot of people. It's actually Venice. A video of Venice is a different experience. Well, in less than a month, we're going to actually be in Venice itself because of a trip that we won. That talking about experiences worth 1,000 videos. I want you to experience this product. And when you experience this product, things change. So again, I'll hand it back to you, Josh, because we're excited about obviously everything that's going on. We're so proud of Josh and Paul. They hit the second highest rank in the company, and literally it's going to be a blip, and they're going to be the highest rank in the company because they got massive momentum going on, and their team is kicking butt. So once again, I'll hand it back to you, Josh.
All right, awesome. Thank you. Nice job there, Greg. So I don't know if Greg's internet was going off a little bit, or if it was just me. Do you guys see a little bit going back? Okay. So Greg, I know you said you got a lot of patches. So if you want to put one on your router, that would be good. So help everybody. For the most part, it was good. There you go. For the most part, it was good. That was the only thing I needed to change in this business, honestly, is I had to upgrade my router because yeah, I was doing Zooms with Greg, and then I would freeze in the most awkward position, and then he would take over for me. So yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But no, thank you guys for doing that. Like we said, we're gonna so in 15 minutes we're gonna jump on the 8 o'clock one. But what we try to do is we try to keep this to 45 minutes to open it up for questions that we can put in the text chat. Prefer not to just open it up and just speak out there, just to make sure we got 54 people on here. So let's make sure that we can any questions you have about the business, about the technology, anything you have, throw that in the text chat, and we're going to try to we'll open this up and see what we can answer here for you. So so Lisa Dobbs said, I'm in St. Augustine. Where is the meeting? Lisa, are you talking about the St. Augustine meeting or the Orlando meeting?
The St. Augustine meeting.
Okay, so if do you have that in front of you, Greg? So
yeah,
if you go,
let me pull it up real quick, because it's actually on the This Is a Team website, and I'll share my screen.
and so while he's looking for that, so just so you know where, so everybody knows where all of the events are, if you go to thisisitteam.com, and then you go to the right hand corner, there's 3 different slashes there, and then it says events, and then you can see every event that they've got going on, any like live things going on. So it's just pretty cool.
There we go. So hopefully, can you see my screen okay?
Yep.
Okay, let me close that out. I figured out what was going on. My Zoom, I should have rebooted my computer because it upgraded the new Zoom, and it's like glitching. So I apologize. So if you go onto thisisitteam.com, like I showed you, and basically we was talking about the 3 little lines here, then basically right down here basically shows all the different things. If you look at events, and that's where the events are going to be at. So you see the graphic that I had here basically shows St. Augustine and Orlando. Right here, St. Augustine shows exactly, it's a classic car museum of St. Augustine on US number, or US 1, Joe, as it is. So I guess, I don't know if it's whatever that is, but it's 4730 US 1. If you look at Classic Car Museum in St. Augustine, you'll find it there. That is going to be at 7 p.m. So 7 p.m. Eastern time. So normally they're at 8, but this is going to be at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. And then Orlando is going to be actually in Lake Mary. And Amanda just posted that on there saying this is going to be at Lake Mary. So it's actually at the Comfort Inn and Suites. It says Sanford, but really it's Lake Mary, it's the same place on Ava Court. But that is going to be at 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So those 2 different ones, I'd highly recommend doing that. And if you do go, please let us know so we can actually let Steve and Gina know, and then introduce yourself to them and say whose team you're a part of, and they'll basically warm you with welcome arms and then get pictures with them and everything else. That's what we always recommend. So great. Hopefully that answered that question. But you can go to This Is a Team and then go to events, and you'll see the couple different events that are going on.
Awesome. Good question. All right. So next question is, if a person only wants to sign up silver, what will they pay if they go on auto ship? So auto ship, and so if you sign up on silver, gold, or diamond, That is completely different than what your auto ship status is. So this is your business, this is your product. You can do whatever you want to. So if you're on silver and you want to do 1 sleeve auto ship, or if you want to do 2 sleeve or 3 sleeve, you can do whatever you want to based on the needs that you have for you and your spouse or just yourself. So if somebody wants to go on as silver, they get 3 sleeves. So that's the decision they make up front is, am I going silver because it's just, me by myself or me and my spouse, and we just want to kind of use the product, see what it does, not really sure if we want to share it with anybody, then it's silver, right? Then they go on 1 or 2 sleeve auto ship for their use. The auto ship is just for your personal use. The silver comes in because you get 3 at the beginning, 1 for each of you, and then 1 to kind of share, if you will. Gold, as Greg was kind of explaining, that is where you would come in with 5 sleeves, still 2 sleeve auto ship, right? That's your use. And then the first 2 sleeves out of those 5 you're using, the other 3, you don't use those, right? You're holding those back. And those are the ones that you're going to hand out and go back and forth. That's your business side. So auto ship has nothing to do with that. And then obviously diamond, if you get on diamond, that's 19 sleeves. You can push your auto ship out for 3 months because you have a ton of sleeves. But again, you can control your auto ship however you want to do every month. You can do it multiple times a month. You can change it. But some people say, hey, I want 2 X39 this week. Some people have gone in diamond and say, well, you know what? I have a lot of X39. I'm going to do this other patch and this one here, and I'm going to do auto ship differently that way. So you have complete autonomy of how you want to do that. So great question.
And great question to that too. once you clarify, a lot of people think once you get the dime pack, that's like every month. No, you get the dime pack one time as an example, and literally 2 sleeves auto ship, and they allow you to push it back even 90 days. So you don't have to buy any products. If you got started today, you're covered for July, August, September. You don't have to buy any product till October on the dime pack. Which is
But a caveat to that, Renita just signed up a billionaire the other day. So if somebody says, is this diamond every month, and they're fine with it, I wouldn't say no.
Absolutely, yes. So that's really it. So there's another question I think that came in. What's this one here? Let's see. I was just asked this evening if these patches for 6 months and have relief for my pain, then stop for whatever reason, my pain rebound or worse, get them for it. No. So what's different is that, so great question on that. So we've had people, you got to remember what stem cells do. Stem cells are basically when you're conceived, that's 2 stem cells, and then it becomes 4 and 6, or 4 and 8 and 16 and 32. You know what I mean? What happens? And then basically stem cells start creating eyeballs and organs and teeth and everything else. So when a baby's born, it becomes anything it wants to. So stem cells are the repair also. So if I break my arm, literally the stem cells go there to repair it. So when you have dormant stem cells, it takes a long time to repair because they're also going, no, you go, no, you go. I don't want to go, you go. No, I'm not going to go. So what happens finally when they start getting activated, you finally get people that basically, if you break your arm, they become the bone tissue, they become the bone marrow, they become the bone, they become the skin, they become the hair, the nerves, whatever it is that actually got affected by that. If it gets repaired, it doesn't mean it's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to take days, weeks, or months for the repair to happen. For me, I had neck pain that was gone in 3 days, but I still had stiffness. I couldn't still turn my neck all the way. 5-6 weeks later, I had full mobility. Now, again, I do tell people you're going down a down escalator. That's the only thing I can tell you. As you're getting older and older and older, you're going down escalator. And what happens? Imagine if you could stop that escalator. And if you could start reversing that escalator, that's what happens when you start using the patch. What happens when you get off the patches? Guess what happens? It stops and starts going back down again. So if you like that idea, get off the patches. For us, we're going to be using it for the rest of our lives. It's absolutely the best product we've ever used, period.
All right, awesome. Anything else? We got 10 more minutes. Welcome, Donna Jean.
Mm-hmm. Great. Awesome. And one thing I will mention that, again, every Sunday we do this meeting here at 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central time, whatever time zone you're in. We got people from all over the place. We do record this, but we also, I don't have it. I got set up on YouTube. This can do simultaneous recordings, but sometimes I may not upload the recording to the next day. I'm personally doing that. So I've been people, when's it going to be recorded? I don't have a staff of people that's doing this. So just have patience with me. I put up on my YouTube channel afterwards, but the same thing for the team meeting. You want to be on the team meeting. We've had people that say, oh, just send me the recording of the team meeting. Trust me on this. You'll learn a lot when you're on there live. So plus we can also answer questions from that too. So any other questions for this? But that was a great question, the last one. But I do hear people say, is it one and done? It's whatever it is you want to do. Because I have over 20 things. The first thing that one was my pain, but I've got 19 other things, over 20 things I've actually helped since then. I know Josh, same thing. He's had just a few things that have gone away or, been taken care of even after the knee pain went away. And I can guarantee there's a lot of other people that are on here to share the same thing.
Yep. Hey, so next question was, is the same Zoom link good for the first and second meetings? Yes, it is. So
Yep.
as a matter of fact, we're not even gonna get off here. We may pause the video for a couple minutes and then come right back on. So yes, it's the same Zoom link.
Yeah,
Hey,
and
Josh.
are these waterproof? And so yes, so as an example, they're the same medical, whatever they call it, 3M that they the medical adhesive they use. So once you put it on, you can take a shower, you can go swimming, you can go snorkeling. I live right by the ocean. I've gone swimming so many times, it doesn't come off. Now, the one thing I do let people know, it's the same thing as a Band-Aid or anything else. If you put lotion on and then put the patch on, it's not going to stick. It's going to fall off. We do have every once in a while people that I got a friend of mine, hairy, oily, sweaty. That's the only thing I can say. He's a painter. And Lily said, he goes, these things won't stick to me. I even shaved my neck and it didn't work. I said, it doesn't have to be touching your skin. You could put it on the inside of your collar if you wanted to. I said, worst case scenario, stick it in your pocket. It doesn't have to be anywhere, even touching the body. That your body emits a certain amount of inches of heat and light. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I'm regurgitating what the other people have told me, but Lily said your body emits heat and light about 2 to 3 inches out. So what happens, as long as the patch is near your body, I could wear on the outside of my shirt. So I should put it on the outside of my computer or my router, right? So again, I could wear it on the outside of my shirt if I want to. I tell my friends to wear it on their forehead because it's closer to their brain. So, but anyway, just put it wherever you want to, but it doesn't have to be even touching the skin. But that is waterproof. So that's a long answer to a short question.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? So I think we got about 8 minutes left. So what I'm going to suggest is there's no more questions. We're going to do a bio break because I need one. So what we're going to do, I don't have any music to put on, but I am going to basically just put up a slide. I'll pause the recording for now. Was there any other ones here? Quick question. Does it even need to be, the adhesive need to be exposed? I don't know. Maybe Josh, you understand what that means. I don't know what they mean by exposed. I'm not sure what you mean. If you're thinking, does the patch need to be? I don't know if you maybe we can.
Yeah. So like if the adhesive is on the back of the shirt, then the patch is pointing towards you.
Yeah, but it's either way. So it's the same thing. It's because it's just the nanocrystals that reflect it back. It's again, if you look at the patch, either way you look at the actual. Actually, let me do this.
I think John's got a great question.
I can take my patch off, so you can.
I think John's got the best question. What's a bio break?
It's called using the bathroom. So if you can see, either way, it's going to work. It's not like they're only reflecting one way. It's basically can be used in either way. So if I even want to put on my inside of my collar here, if I wanted to, doesn't matter as long as it sticks to the shirt, whatever it is. But I recommend if you're going to put it somewhere, so it sticks to my skin. So you can put it on the back of your collar, your shirt, or whatever. So yeah, so bio break is using the bathroom. So yeah.
All right, so we'll see everybody back here in 7 minutes.
7 minutes. So I'm just going to stop recording, and then we'll start the recording once we get started. So
All right, see you in a bit.
Just stay on. We're not going anywhere. Just stay on. Just if you're going to use a bathroom, turn your camera off, please. That'd be very, very helpful. Thank you.